Hey, friends, welcome to our Sunday Kickstart, where we kickstart your weekend with what's going on around here and what's going on at the church. I'm Denise.
I'm Steve.
Let's talk.
Yep. Hey, well, we haven't seen a lot of wildlife. It seems like since you left, it's been that way.
Well, I beg to differ because I saw elk on camera on Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. I forgot
the
about
driveway.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really dark, except then something caused that. Was it a bull elk or was it a bull elk and a cow elk? Because
There
I
was
know
a
I
couple
saw
of them, but I don't know
Okay.
for sure. Yeah.
Okay, because I definitely saw a bull elk because they still have their antlers. Now it's February, so they should be losing their antlers here pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right?
Look at those little cinnamon buns on the side of their
that's
head.
right.
Like.
That's hilarious.
Those are always kind of weird
These
and
big,
interesting.
big giant elk animals, and they know how majestic they are, and they think they have these big giant antlers. But then, in the spring, they come in. Well, they lose them, and then they got nothing. But they're still just majestic, and they think they're still wearing their crown on their head and everything.
Yeah.
But they got nothing. And then they grow these. Yeah, they do. They look like two cinnamon buns.
Yeah, it's like Leia.
Yeah, only down.
Like Leia.
Yeah, they're up here.
Yeah. They're
But
weird
they
looking.
still think they're so cool and watch out for me because I am a bull
I would watch
elk.
out for them.
I would anyway, because they still have all their strength in their body. They could still, just beat me up by snorting on me. So you're right. So we'll give them all their glory, sure.
Yeah, I saw those on camera, and
well, I'll see if I can get if I can get a shot of that. The overlaying videos is broken right now. It seems like, but at least I can. Let me see if I can put a picture on here.
Sure.
And besides that, it's been a fox and a skunk. Big wow.
Yeah, not much else.
But and we've talked a little bit about our chickens. And we got 10 chickens right now. We've got, the original, the rooster and the hen that were young when the bears came in and ate everybody, and they missed those two. And we've raised those up, and that rooster is pretty big. I don't know, what is he like 2.5 feet tall or something?
Yeah, he's huge.
He thinks he's taller than I am.
He's 2 feet tall at least.
He's 2 feet tall,
he's probably at least 2 feet tall. He's probably 2.5. And weighs around 20 pounds-ish. He's a big
20
boy.
pounds? Okay,
Yeah,
he is a big boy. And he knows it, too. It's funny, these animals get, they get big heads. They're just animals, but it's like, he's pretty sure he's bigger than I am. And so just like his father before him, he will attack me. If I turn my back, if I even just turn my head for a little bit, he's on me, and he flaps his wings on me and hits his feet on me and stuff.
Yeah.
And so what I've started doing is, I bring water up to them in a white 5-gallon bucket. And, it's just about as big as he is. And so I bring that up, and, and I don't need to refill their water, their water pan every day. But, I'll bring up, regardless, I'll bring that water bucket, whether I have water in it or whether it's empty. But I rattle that thing around. I hit it against stuff to make noise, and that kind of freaks him out enough that he leaves me alone.
Yeah. Well, you obviously did not grow up on the farm, because that's a normal. We got chased by roosters all the time. In fact, we had a goose named Quackers that used to attack us all the time. And then we ended up having Quackers for dinner.
Was he? Oh yeah, yum.
It's the best goose we ever had too.
You probably didn't enjoy it as much as like your dad probably did.
Well, we got chased though, and he would bite us. So,
okay. So nobody really cared for him, huh?
Everybody ran and screamed. I mean, we were 10 years old, 8 years old.
And really, was he just? I mean, just like the rooster we have. I mean, he's just protecting the other chickens.
Oh, you hear the birds?
I do. Yeah, it's not a rooster.
Yeah, he was just. That's just what they do.
And that's what Quackers the goose was doing.
He wasn't protecting anything because he was the only goose we had.
Oh, he was protecting himself. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's protecting himself.
What's a male goose called? Do you know?
A gander.
Oh, okay. No, wait. A gander is the group of them, isn't it? What's
No,
good
that's
for
a
the goose is
gaggle.
good for the
It's a
gander. Oh,
it's a
gaggle.
gaggle. Yeah.
Okay. Back to nursery
You're
school for
you're
me.
kind of getting into the farm thing, but not quite.
Oh, yeah.
I have a lot
But
of birds
I'm
behind me. If you
sorely
heard
missing
those,
it. What's that?
I'm on the back side of the island a little bit. Well, I have the places on the back side of the island, but our place. But there's a bird sanctuary behind me.
I never knew that.
A lot of
There was
those
a
little
bird.
islands back
Okay.
there. This one's,
Oh.
got homes on it, but the ones behind me are wildlife sanctuary. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
right about there is where the rocket launches. We just had one about an hour ago.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, and we're split screen, so I couldn't see where you're pointing, but
oh
I think
yeah, well,
I
that
can probably
way
fix that. Okay.
a
Yeah,
little
there
bit.
you go. Okay. Yep. I got it
But
now.
but
Yeah.
man, we get the
Okay.
flocks of birds that go over, and
Oh, wow.
it's pretty
What
awesome.
kind of
I just
birds
remember
are
to
they?
keep my head down and my mouth shut. So
Right. Yeah.
a lot of seagulls, I mean, there's all kinds of them. We get a lot of brown pelicans, which are really big.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we get these birds that I'll send you a picture. They're
Okay.
really hairy, like they look all crazy when it's raining and they're around here.
Oh,
They
yeah.
look
Yeah.
like they just like the cat drug them in or something. They're pretty crazy, but they're like 2.5, 3 foot tall, maybe. They're really big.
Man. Okay.
So
Does it chase
yeah,
you around?
yeah. No, they don't chase me.
No.
But
Okay.
we do have a lot of
Okay.
dolphins in here behind me.
Oh,
in
that's
this tip.
nice. That's cool. That's cool. And so it's not the ocean we're looking at, it's the lake
No,
before
yeah, it's the river. It's the river.
Yeah, I mean I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the river. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's like the end of the mainland and then the river and then what do you call that? Like beach or
Well,
something?
they call it
Beachfront?
beachside, but I don't know.
Beachside. Okay,
Yeah,
yep.
beachside.
And then the beach and then the Atlantic Ocean. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
so I'm in the middle of the river, but
Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty cool. And you can see
lot
the
of fun
rocket
birds.
launches from there.
Yeah, a lot
Birds
of
and
fun birds.
rockets.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the temperature there like now?
It is
Do
73
you know?
right now. Overcast.
Okay.
Yesterday
Okay.
it was 79. So
Okay.
quite nice.
It's
I
kind
think
of
cold.
sunny here. I know it's in the 40s at least. Oh, 52.
Uh,
How about that? That's
yeah,
pretty
the
nice.
greenhouse,
Well,
I noticed the greenhouse has been getting up close to 90, so that's good.
okay. Yeah,
Everything's
that is
starting to
good.
come to life in there. So you've sent me several pictures.
That's right. You know, I didn't mention it was that when I was in there yesterday working on a sprinkler, there are some more blackberry
Good.
blackberry
Wow.
starting to flower. So blackberry
Nice.
blossoms, I guess you'd call them.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so I gotta get that sprinkler fixed, or maybe what I do right now is move the one that works around a little bit or something because I really gotta
Yeah.
soak those blackberries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
everybody watching us is learning how to operate a greenhouse
Yeah.
and how to get chased by roosters.
You're probably like, come on, get on to something spiritual here.
Yeah, really. Okay. Well, we could do that. You know, Sunday, we went through Romans 1 and 2. By the way, a lot of people have really good book recommendations. Hey, I read this book and it's really good. And I have a book recommendation. It's the book of Romans in the Bible.
Oh, hey, that's a good one. That's one of the better book recommendations.
You know, every time I read it, it's like, whoa, I got to slow down because there is so much in here to really just soak up and to read and to think about, to meditate on, and to learn from. It's like, I mean, how long we've been reading the Bible, you know, for decades. And, you know, I don't know how many times I've read the Bible cover to cover and read different translations cover to cover. Man, it's like every time, you know, you get to Leviticus and, you know, Leviticus is the toughest because it's, you know, it's a lot of the law and a lot of, you know, do this, and don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, in Numbers, it starts to get into some of the, you know, the story again when they go to the promised land and get fearful and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But and Romans is just a letter, you know, that Paul the Apostle wrote to the churches in Rome, the home churches in Rome. But it's like he wrote so much.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot in
it's
there.
like packed. Yeah. So So I almost hate to dwell on the same verse at two opportunities, from last Sunday to today, but I think I want to, because it just seems like, man, it speaks to me, and it's very simple. But it's Romans 2:4, because in Romans 1, it's, that's where Paul makes his declaration, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, for it's the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes, for the Jew first and also for the Greek. And, he says the just shall live by faith. But then, and then he talks about, oh my goodness, here's what's happened to the world. The world is getting darker because people have chosen, even though there's creation out there to signify God and to be a sign to point to God, people have chosen to ignore it, and they've chosen to do their own thing, and their own thing is sinfulness. And so, well, no kidding, that's why the world is so dark. Then in the Roman Empire, back in the, in the 2-digit years is even the same in the world in the 4-digit years, in 2026. Yeah. So many of the same things, so many of the same sins that people are caught up in. But you know what? But then you turn the page to Romans 2, and it's like Paul is saying, okay, so this is the way, this is the way the world is. But I want you to understand that, okay, so yeah, you are inexcusable, O man, and I'm looking at Romans 2, verse 1. Therefore, you are inexcusable, O man, whoever you are, who judge. And then it's talking about, even believers who are judging unbelievers, or who are judging anybody who are caught up in these sins, but then they're doing the same sins. Yeah. Man, that's asking for trouble. And it's like, it just paints this picture of it, the world, even Christians, are just so caught up in sin and darkness and stuff. And then, it kind of culminates with verse 4. So chapter 2, verse 4, it says, do you despise the riches of his goodness, his forbearance, his long-suffering, not knowing, and here it is, that the goodness of God leads you to repentance? Sure. It just seems like there's so many people that have thought, well, it's the wrath of God. The wrath of God, the punishment of God, that's what leads people to repentance.
Yeah, and that's the way we were brought up too. Yeah, a lot of the teaching in the church that we were in was just, looking over your shoulder, wondering when the hammer was going to drop on you, And I mean, I was 10 years, I was 9 years old when I got saved.
Okay.
And
you were younger than me.
What's that?
You were younger than me.
Yeah. At 9 years old, I was just terrified of the hand of God coming down on me. I mean, what do you do as a 9-year-old? You disobey your mom or dad, or you lie to somebody, or you don't clean your bedroom,
Yes.
And
oh my goodness.
Always concerned about, the wrath of God coming down. Yeah. And, but really, it is his kindness that leads us to repentance. And
it is. Kind of you talk about that too, the wrath of God like that. I still, like, I saw it yesterday. There was a Far Side cartoon, and it wasn't yesterday. It was decades ago. But Gary Larson drew this Far Side cartoon, and it had a picture of a moving crew hoisting a grand piano. This big giant black piano up alongside a building to bring it in through a window. And then right next to it, there was a picture of God watching the whole thing on his computer screen, and his finger was just about to hit the button that said smite.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Actually, one other thing, there was a guy walking under the piano.
Yeah.
That's the thing that you need to know, that to make him, to understand. So so it's like God was just waiting for this guy to walk under the piano so he could hit the smite button and toast this guy.
It's just the devil's he twists everything. The devil twists everything. And so he's just twisting the goodness of God into something terrible.
Yeah,
and we all know that God's gracious and merciful, and always has us in his heart, and wants the best for us. He does. He's not there to fight us. His goodness is overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his goodness is always there, and his kindness is always there to lead us to repentance. And that goes for the unsaved too. Because it seems like, the unsaved, people who are living in darkness, they always, at some point, they realize that what they're following is hollow.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like there's nothing to it. There's this beautiful facade, or this facade that draws them in, and they get sucked into this, and as they get sucked into this, they realize there's nothing here. It's
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah.
There's nothing rewarding about this life.
Right.
And so they become despondent and they look for something else. And you know what? That's when God can move the most. And that's when people respond to God's
Yeah.
kindness.
Yeah. Well, he says he'd either have us be hot or cold, not lukewarm. I think sometimes uh, as the church, we can fall into being lukewarm, knowing that,
Sure.
well, we're saved and blah, blah, blah. But,
Yeah.
it's those that are cold toward God, maybe, and are caught up in the things of the world, that come to see his grace and mercy and turn their lives over to him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know I've seen several stories lately of detransitioners, it was a hollow life.
Yep.
And they've come to know Jesus, and
Yeah.
they're just like overwhelmed with his grace and his mercy. I mean, his tender mercies are new every day.
They do.
No
They
matter
are.
how
Yes.
much we mess up,
Yeah. They're new
no
every
matter
morning.
how much, as humans, we
Yep.
look at each other and think, there you go again, but God never looks at us that way.
No.
His tender mercies are new every day. His loving
no, you're
kindness
right.
is always
and that's
with us.
Yeah, and that's a key thing too, I think, because after a person's been involved in sin and made some bad choices, then in their minds they've gone too far.
Right.
And maybe God is a loving God, but I've done too much. He's not going to love me. He gave me a chance, and I said no, and so he's never going to draw me back in, and it's just not true.
It's not. It's not. In children's ministry, I talk to the kids a lot about that. I have a friend. He was a very good friend in high school, and he got caught up in some things and actually murdered someone. Heinous murder, terrible murder. As a 17-year-old, he got a life sentence, and he's still serving to this day.
Okay.
And I led him to Christ, and he's leading Bible studies. In fact, they keep shutting him down because he's got too many people coming to his Bible study. And
in prison.
It's dangerous in prison to have that big of a congregation. So, God is using him where he's at in the circumstances that unfortunately he chose or got caught up in. But you see, God's tender mercies are there, and the people he's reached that could possibly never have been reached, because he's taking advantage of his situation the best of his ability. And I always tell the kids it doesn't matter, because as they get in their teenage years, a lot of times they get into things, unfortunately get drawn into things of the world. And I tell them, you can always turn back to God. You can always go back to God. His tender mercies, he's not waiting there with a hammer over your head. He just wants you to come back. And, I always tell them about my friend, and they all know my friend. He's very famous in children's ministry because I use his example a lot.
Okay.
That,
and of course, part of the message is, it's best not to get into that to begin with, because it is hollow. There's nothing that the devil has to offer. There's nothing that sin has to offer that doesn't, that isn't hollow, that doesn't just cause more trouble. How did you say it that one week? You said sin.
It'll take you further than you want to go and cost you more than you want to pay.
That's it. I like that. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And so the best thing is not to get involved in that either, but to continue serving God with all your heart, because there's substance there.
Yeah.
It's real. Everybody's looking for the real thing. It just seems like there's so much fakeness out there. Everybody wants the real thing. Well, that's God himself.
Yeah. It's only God. It's the only thing that will fulfill us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we are out of time. So.
We usually are.
A
couple minutes after we start, we're out of time.
Let's see. This is Youth Week, right? We have Thursday, 6 p.m. we have prayer. 7 p.m. women's, men's, youth, and let's see. Sunday at 9 a.m. We have service. And it's amazing service. It's
and
great.
before that Saturday is our annual Valentine's Day spaghetti lunch.
Yes.
It starts at 11:30, and everybody's welcome. We always, Jay makes the spaghetti, and he is amazing at it. He always does such a great job. And last year we had so much left over, and I think he's going to make. He's going to make a lot this year too. So even if you've never joined us before, come on out. 11:30 on Saturday.
We got a movie. We got craft.
Yeah.
Lots of food.
What is that pressed flower lantern? I think I remember the name of the craft now. All right, that's going to be fun.
Craft, but guys,
it is. We'll just watch the movie and eat more spaghetti.
Yep, that's a good plan. 340 Lashley. If you're in the Longmont area, come on out. If you don't have a good church home, come on out. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you then, and have a blessed week. And we'll see you next week. Be blessed.
Be blessed.